The whole nine.
Not,
Yes. Oh, man.
I'm done. I can't watch this.
Yes. I want to welcome you all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most, Normal Ass Carl, to
DJ
my front.
Normal Ass Carl in the mix.
Normal Ass Carl. And Dick Lex.
To my front. I have my man at Just Lex to his left, my immediate right. Standing at 6'4", out of Helix Charter High School in La Mesa, California.
Keep it 6'4".
Juicy.
Okay, I'm ready.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God, you should have been like a boxer announcer.
You know what's crazy?
That
It
was
probably
good.
sound even
I'm
more
ready
fun.
to like fight.
It sounded even better probably in the mic too.
Dude,
so I gotta
bomb.
get you some headphones. I felt right when you said that, I was like, damn, she didn't even get the full
I'm
effect.
ready. I'm ready.
Fuck it, let's get straight to it. Look, and you know what? Your shit that you got, you saved that for your time when I asked you.
Did you guys miss me?
Absolutely.
Did you miss me, Lex?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
It don't sound convincing.
You did a great job.
What do you mean?
Because I thought for sure that while you was gone,
I was gonna ghost
that
you guys?
was gonna, no. That you was gonna go ape shit on anything that I would have said because you were not here. But you did a good job of holding it.
I've been working on that.
That's where I was like, you know what?
Been working on
Growth.
that.
I looked at my phone by Thursday. I was like, oh shit, she made it all the way to here?
I've been working on it. It's been
For
hard.
sure Tuesday.
Oh, it's been hard. And not just you in life. I've been really working on holding it.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, any sabbatical you could take for any time. I wish I could take one. And motherfuckers still won't learn how to do the computer.
Yeah,
Y'all can come in here real quick.
You're the heart of the show. We need you.
Oh my God, I need a day off.
Yeah,
She
right?
did it. Whatever it was, she definitely did it.
Yeah, she did.
All right. Jay, how you been?
You know, I've been good. Like this month, October was really busy for me. It was my husband's birthday, my daughter's birthday. I did a lot of like networking. I had a lot of like events that I was going to. I'm definitely exhausted. I prefer to be, no matter what it appears to be, I prefer to be inside. Like I really am like, you know, let me chill at home, watch a movie, watch
Does
a
FOMO
documentary.
get to you?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I think that like because of my life circumstances and things that if I really want to do something or go to like an event, then normally I'll make it happen. You know, so I don't have a lot of FOMO, but I've definitely been like planting seeds and I'm stressed. I'm facing adversity as always, but I'm feeling hopeful about like the next season I'm stepping into and what it's going to look like and hopefully the opportunities and the income it can present for me and my family. So, yeah.
Anybody that's out here surviving in San Diego, man, like I tip my hat out to you, man. Like just for real.
Struggle is real.
As much as like I want to like conquer, I'm like, oh, like right now I'm in a good spot for me to just fucking chill and enjoy like what life is like. And it's like, not everyone has that, right? Everyone has a different story. Some people are out here working 2 different jobs and shit. I'm not trying to hijack your shit, so keep telling us how you doing.
No, I mean, that's real. Like, I think that's where I'm at. Like, I'm in my hustle, you know? So, but I'm still trying to find that balance of, like, being a mother, being a wife, taking care of my home. Like, me and my husband were talking the other day, and he said something interesting to me. He was like, there's 2 types, and my husband we both are entrepreneurs. We both have been, he's been a business owner on a large scale. I've had several different small businesses, but we were talking about different ideas and businesses, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, there's 2 types of people in this world. He was like, there's business owners and there's employees, like, and your mindset kind of is either one or the other. And so I was like, okay, well, what am I? You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, you're definitely business owner mindset. He was like, but you don't have any time. And I was like kind of offended.
Well, you don't have any what?
Time.
Time, okay.
And I was kind of like, you know, taken back. And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? And he was like, well, you know, you have the kids, you have the house, you know, like my motherly and wifely obligations. He was like, you know, I don't know, like you don't have the full time to really like dive and to give and to invest into
Is his
your
English really
businesses. No, not at all.
Yo,
I mean, no, I don't want to play him like that. I know I switch it up. I don't even
but
notice
the way you
it.
expressed it, I was like, yo, if he was able to do that, because I was like, yo, right when you
Well,
said
he
what he
did
said,
say all of that. He did say all of
oh,
that.
I know. I just know.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's like pulling the pin of a grenade. It's like, yo, you better throw it right.
Bruh.
And he threw it right. He threw it right.
Yeah.
He's right though.
He's right. He is, and so like I was kind of like, okay, well, I do have more responsibilities, and I would say that's what it almost is to like, not to be. I won't speak for all women because everyone runs their household differently, but that is kind of like the. And I don't want to say burden and it sounds some type of way, but that is kind of the weight you carry as a woman, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. It's not like, the expectation is not that I just get to pour all my time and focus into my business. The expectation is that I take care of my kids, I fulfill their obligations, school, extracurriculars, I take care of my house, caring, cleaning, cooking, doing all that. And then I get to be an entrepreneur, a business owner.
And he acknowledged all that you do.
And he
which was
acknowledged
dope.
all that,
That's pretty dope.
But trying to come back and look at like the balance of things, so that way I can really step into what it is I want to do, which is ultimately curate and work for myself.
Okay.
And make a brand and build.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, I've been stressed, I've been depressed, I've been sad, I've been anxious, I've been handling a lot of different things, but I think that I'm just trying to keep a hopeful spirit. I had a conversation with someone recently about like, the power of words, the power of your thoughts, and like, as far as like, we have these diagnoses. I'm speaking about like mental health. We have these different diagnoses. I have my professional diagnoses of mental health, but not necessarily like allowing them to claim my life and not claiming them over my life. So I've really been trying to step into that, where it's like I'm giving myself grace, but I'm also like not allowing to say this is the rest of my life. I won't always live like this. Right. And then also trying to, and I don't want to say this because it's a very slippery slope as far as like mental health goes and people not understanding like the true weight and symptoms of depression, anxiety, PTSD. But where I'm at in my growth and my healing journey is I'm at a bit of a plateau. And now for me personally, I kind of need to push myself a little bit more. I need to kind of give myself a little bit of more tough love and not lean so much into the things that weigh me down and the true life chemical imbalances I have, and trying to like kind of push a little bit further. And so that's where I'm at. And so that's where I'm kind of trying to get myself to elevate to that next level, while still trying to be like tender with myself, trying to like talk to I'm really hard on myself. I'm my biggest critic. That's why sometimes when people talk shit about me, I laugh, because I'm like, I think me and Lex have said this. I'm like, there's nothing that you can say about me that I haven't thought about myself, or worse, most likely. But in this season, because I'm understanding how powerful my own self-love is, my own internal thoughts, my own internal and external dialogue about myself, how powerful it is, I'm really trying to be careful. Because right now, like the things that I want to do, the moves I want to make, I need to like ultimately believe in myself, trust in myself. I need to think I'm the baddest bitch in the room, that I'm the biggest boss there was, that I'm stepping into it. And for me, it's hard because, I don't want to come off as arrogant or egotistical, and I feel sometimes when I step like that, people kind of are giving me like a salty look or like a hater, or kind of like, who do you think you are? But right now I'm like, I just got to block out all the noise. I need to embody that spirit in order to push down the fears that I have and the noise from the outside and all the things that everyone has ever said about me, and silence it and have my BDE, big boss energy. And that's where I'm at. That's what I'm cultivating. And I'm hoping by the new year that I'll be like a little butterfly coming from my cocoon.
Crazy part is where she's at, and it's a great transition point. But I feel like that's where you're kind of at too.
Emerging.
Like you have a lot of noise like going on, and then you had the focus, and I'm being real with you, right? Because we've been honest about where you've been at and where you've been at.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what he's holding around his neck, I think is probably the one thing that made all this shit fucking worth it, which is his kids won a championship, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like he if I were to compare journeys, not even trauma bond, right? That's in a way, right? It's like, all right, you're able to see the other side where you're like, all right, let me get geared up so that I can get ready to climb this mountain.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you over the hurdle. What I'm saying is you can see the destination though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, but like that's a good award, and I know you. We getting there,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
To where I can get you where
exactly.
But he ain't gonna celebrate it as much as he should.
You
right?
have to.
And when you get there, you make sure you celebrate your shit as much as you should, right?
Because I will shine myself down, and I'm trying to not do that anymore.
Like that's dope. I've been saying to him for the longest, like you should know what it feel like to win a championship with that group of kids and like your own kids, and know that your hard work went somewhere.
Yeah.
And as you gear up your bootstraps and everything, look at
How you do it, dude?
I'm fucking with it, but I'm saying though, as you get all, and we're always working on something. I'm not where I want to be 100%.
Yeah.
I've had 4 major things that I think happened to where 2024. I'm just trying to like get past the finish line. You know what I mean? And it ain't nothing like a kick in the nuts to be like, yo, all right, job not finished.
And that's that growth positive mindset, right? That like we would hope, like I want to only surround myself with people like that. You're the company you keep. You're the sum of the 5 people closest to you. And so I want to be around people that are not perfect, but are committed to their own development, their own growth, their families, and they're not limited in their thinking of what is possible, Right. And so I can appreciate that, like about all of us, that no matter what we're going through, the adversity, the silent battles behind closed doors, like we still all have like dreams and goals that we want to accomplish. And I hope as we all build our relationships that we can help support each other, get to those dreams.
Yeah. And I just want to see you get there.
Amen. All of us, same.
I just want to see you get there.
Me too, man. Shit,
I ain't done either.
Fuck.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
I'm trying to get there, okay? I'm tired.
You seen, have you ever seen, I wanted to say Fantastic Four, all the Marvels with the dude that takes over the planet and he just sits down. Yeah. I just want to sit on a rock and exhale. I can't think right now. My brain's not helping. What is that?
Thanos?
Yeah, Thanos. Yes. But what is the name of the fucking, I want to say X-Men now. Like,
the Avengers?
Yeah, there we go. The Avengers.
Yeah.
My brain has been on. I've been playing Call of Duty with my stepson all day. Like, all I've been talking about is shooting. And all this.
Lord.
He been whooping your ass?
Nah, I had to get good because he was better than me for a while. And then my homies still play, so then they was talking shit. I was like, yo, I can't have this 7-year-old kid and my friends talking trash.
You had to step up your game a bit.
Yeah. Lex, how you been, bro?
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting me get my piece off, by the way. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I think when you brought up this, I think when I brought this up earlier, it was funny. You're off mic.
Yeah.
Why do I always make shit less funny?
No, it wasn't you.
No, he was talking about the read.
You guys are
had
funny.
nothing to do with you.
Okay.
It was a moment we had while we were waiting.
Before you came, yeah.
Okay.
Because he was bragging about something his son did.
I said Chris had 6'2" and 1. He said shit don't matter.
I was like, he had his little focus.
I made it serious when I said, yo, that's really, but it was a good moment.
Yeah.
But
fuck your stats for today. This is the whole year.
Absolutely.
But to be frank, not to downplay this
here
whole
comes
thing.
Debbie Downer.
But no, cause to be real, I was actually worried about this.
What do you mean?
Because he was kind of going there. I was like, is he on to me? But no, he's not on to me. I was worried about this ring kind of symbolizes the end. And so now it's like, it's not technically over because we're still moving on to like regionals and we're going like
and
further
he
and
has,
further.
Like, years left to play.
No. I don't mean end like that.
End of this season.
I mean end of this period of time with this.
Like team
not the whole group's not gonna go with us, but like the whole like. I was worried because October wasn't very nice to me, right? And I had a lot of different. I mean, I always got some shit going on, but. I had a lot of different emotions going up and down.
Yeah.
And then I was getting to a point where I was like, I felt myself falling back, isolating a little bit.
Yeah.
And my mind was my mind will go down its own rabbit hole, and it starts connecting dots that don't need to be connected.
Yeah,
and it's very good at it. All the dots that are connected are plausible. They make sense.
It's a trauma response.
It's logical.
Yeah.
And so if I get too far down that hole, which I was for a little bit, I was like, yo, this football is all I got right now. Like, all I got. And then, so I had like a little few days stretch when it got to the point where I was actually thinking like, damn, this is all I got. We had a bye week, and I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. And then, now that this happened and we won, I was like, shit. I mean, we still got next week. We're going to continue on. But in my mind, I was like, shit. Luckily, I fixed a couple things to where I don't feel that way no more.
Yeah, good.
But I had a couple days stretch where I was like, whoa, this shit, I don't think I should be down.
Because I think it's important, like for me, for you, for us, that like really, we go down that rabbit hole. It's really important for us to know like the tools and the things that we grab onto to like climb ourselves out. So what was it that was like the pivoting moment? My therapist used to say, I stew in it. He's like, it's good to feel your feelings and sit, but he's like, you don't need to stew. So what allowed you to like, what things and actions or thoughts did you do that allowed you to stop stewing and kind of climb out of it?
I mean, it's a combination of stuff, but honestly, it's probably just my schedule.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm busy enough to where I can't afford to stay there too long.
Yeah.
On top of, okay, well, I'm only going to go so many days without talking to my therapist. I'm only going to go so many days without this happening, that happening. So doing that enough, like, I'm gonna pull myself out of it.
But having the structure and the schedule kind of helps.
Yeah, if I was just kind of on vacation or doing whatever, I'd be a little worried.
Yeah, empty nest gonna fuck you up.
And that's another reason,
that's coming.
He's like, hey man, you don't go nowhere, like vacation and things, because I don't think I've been in a place to where I'm good enough to like throw myself off my own schedule.
I feel you.
Going on vacation is gonna do nothing but fuck me up. In many different ways, especially if I'm going on like a relaxing vacation. Trying to do that and not have activities.
You and your thoughts?
All you gotta do is take your kids with you on vacation.
A haunted house, but it's you and your thoughts?
I'm jumping straight off the wagon. If you put me in a beach with them, hell no. I can't do it.
I need an itinerary.
Not even like going to Lagos or that. You just go to LA or something with them, or Universal Studios. Something to just get out the monotony of like all the shit you got going on. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
That is important to like.
I get that part.
Break it up a little bit.
I'm just saying if you didn't trust, and you're right. And what she's saying by breaking it up is also saying that it's accountability if you take them with you.
No, I get it. I understand all of it. I just can't do it right now.
Yeah, and that's good that you know your capacity, because I have definitely in the past, especially when I had like a large group of friends and different things like that, when I knew I was not in the right mental state or the capacity to just unplug and drop my schedule and spend money and do whatever, like, and I would force myself. It was always at a detriment of myself or even sometimes the others around me. So I haven't taken a vacation in, I can't remember, years as well, because one, I decided I always vacation like on such a strict budget, like literally pinching pennies, that I was like, the next vacation I go on, I want to not ball out, but I want to be able to live, to spend, easily. And I also want to be in the state where I'm not, uncomfortable. So I think that like knowing your capacity and being like, right now isn't my season for this, I think that shows that like, you're growing and you know yourself.
Yeah. So right now I think just because I talk to my kids all day, every day, that it's because of the stuff I'm constantly telling them, I'm still like reaffirming myself. And a lot of the stuff I have to tell them right now is stay the course.
Exactly.
And so I'm saying it out loud. I'm also saying it to myself while I'm telling them, to where I'm not really down too long.
It's interesting you said that. That was my, like, I was thinking all about that on the drive over here. Like, stay the course, stay the route, stay focused.
I thought you got off course because I thought you were supposed to be here like 20 minutes before you went.
What can I'm popular.
You took
what
the
can
detour.
I say? I'm driving stick right now, and so it took me a little longer.
Forearms hurting a little?
Yeah, well, gotta, make sure my radio's right. Everything's all together before I take off.
I've never, like, had an anxiety attack, like driving a stick next to a hill,
Dude.
in traffic.
Oh, and people be on you. I'm like, bro, back up a little bit.
The street I live on right now, I got stuck there when I was learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like exactly down the street, and I had a moment.
Yeah.
Because I was like, look, I can go up there on this hill and go get my dad and tell him to bring the car back.
What'd you do?
I manned up. I remember.
Dang.
Manned up. What I did was I was stuck. What you do is if you get stuck on the hill, you put the e-brake on.
Exactly.
And then you just start balancing it and drop that shit.
Yeah.
And I did it.
But when you're in the middle of a panic attack, you don't think about none of that shit.
You start malfunctioning.
Because I'm going up the hill.
I had a private street by myself.
I'm going up Spring Valley from the McDonald's, going up this hill, and there's a light and it's red. I'm like, why it had to be red? I had a little groove going.
Nah.
That is the thing you think about when you knew. You like, why I gotta be here? I didn't want to stop.
Because you want to catch the momentum.
That's funny.
I was going up, what is it? Not Central. You know how Central and Lemon Grove to New Jersey, like past the Charlie tracks, parallel to like Massachusetts maybe.
That's a hill.
And it was when I first started learning 10 years ago, and I definitely hit the emergency brake, and I had to call my man at the time. I couldn't. But this car right here, we're flipping it and selling it, so I feel an extra pressure not to.
Yeah, don't fuck up.
You know, I was like, I asked my husband, you trust me to drive?
You taking the street route?
Bro, dude. I'm like, give me 50 feet, y'all.
Oh, man, that's funny as hell. You want me... Well, you know what? Let me just get my shit off because I feel like you feel strongly about something. So let me
what am I
off.
stepping into?
No. I seen the notes. It had Lil Wayne on there, and Lil Wayne is saying that the halftime show was nabbed from him and all that other stuff. So
there's been a lot of.
And before we get into the political shit, I might as well just tell you how my week has been. So y'all, maybe you feel better for me. I mean, worse for me or something.
Yeah, it's your turn. We've all got enough.
We went to the Clipper game yesterday. I thought that was amazing.
That
right?
looked so.
Here, listen.
fun.
I'm a Clipper fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it as of yesterday. After all that,
would you do that?
Look, man. I never had a basketball team before
I understand.
then.
So jumping on this one,
Let me tell you what I went through. Okay, you heard a little bit of it. So the Clippers have a new arena. It's called Intuit Arena or Intuit Dome or whatever. Mm-hmm. I love Clipper games now too because Laker tickets for the same nosebleeds up there, $140. I'm spending $75 per ticket for the Clipper game. I'm okay with that. Laker fans, highway robbery. All of that shit is bullshit anyway, right? I think that's like insanely expensive for 80-something games. We go there. I hadn't been to a basketball game in years either, and I wanted to get them into it. They've been playing and stuff. So on the way there, you have to sign up for some little like ID thing through Clear, kind of like when you fly in an airplane or something.
You have to?
You have to. You need a cell phone to get into the damn
say,
arena.
I'd be fucked.
You can't
Half
get
the
in
time
there
I don't
without
have a
it. That's
phone.
what I was saying. I was like, yo, if you don't have a phone, it's fucked up. So you have to sign up. Then when we got there, right, because you don't sign your kids up, they're like, oh, you got to add them to your ticket from that thing, fill out your address and all that, their information. They get a little wristband. The wristband is what gets them in, not the actual ticket anymore. Right?
Yeah.
So I fill all that out. The dude's like, no, you got to go to that guy. He's going to give you the wristband. Come back in here.
I hope you got there early.
Oh, mind you.
Yeah.
I skipped some shit.
Were you guys running late? How was it loading the car?
I'm about to fire you up right now. My bad. Because what I got to say, maybe I'll fire you up. Maybe I won't. Maybe you're a bit
What you about to say?
Women will get you killed out here.
Here you go.
Women will get you
I knew
killed.
it was going to be sexy.
I mean, too.
Man,
I knew it.
absolutely,
Knew it was gonna be sexy.
absolutely, right?
I didn't know if it was going to be
My
a story
wife-
about your wife.
Yeah.
Wifey, I got you. Whatever you going to say. Go ahead.
My wife was like, yo, I got the parking pass that came with this.
Okay.
Right? The Dome is in Inglewood, like in the heart of like LA.
Always.
Yeah, in the heart of the ghetto.
Okay.
So the parking structure is in this dark ass alley on the other side of the freeway. I don't see a guy in a safety vest. I don't see an orange cone.
How could she
coming
know
here.
that? But okay.
She's like, oh, there's a shuttle service, right? I'm looking. It's darker than Gotham in that bitch, right?
That's not her fault.
And she was like, yo, I said, look, right then I made a decision. I said, look, I'll go ahead and spend the extra money on the parking where it's well lit and I know we're not going to get mugged.
I'm going to need you to thug it out more.
No, yeah, I'm
You've
not
gone
fucking-
soft.
Now with
It's
that Tesla, like,
no, I didn't drive. We drove her car, gas car, because I definitely wasn't going to get stuck up there like at that
Having a
charging
charge,
station. Yeah, I didn't want to
yeah.
do all of that. So we get there. I end up spending the money on the parking. It's right next to the Dome, well lit. See the guys in the vest 2 miles down.
Bougie. Rich people problems.
If I don't see a jersey, I was like, yo, now granted, LA don't care about the Clippers, but if I don't even see a single jersey, I started seeing white people now, like, in track jackets, Clipper track jackets.
It was a setup, huh?
Yeah, I felt better when I got there. So we got inside there, right? Big ass escalator, right? And then the lady's like, oh, you got to scan your face to get into the fan shop, right? So I go tilt my face down. She's like, you got to wait for the gate to open. It's going to open on its own, right? It's all this shit. There's a long-ass line for people waiting to scan their face to walk in.
What? Wait, tell me, why is that?
Steve Ballmer's
face is in the system?
Steve Ballmer's the one that allowed this system to come in. It's like a security system.
So everybody's face is in the system?
Your name, date of birth, only thing, they can probably get your social
later. So if you do some
on.
shit, you're like... They got all your...
I'm about to tell you, because where we're at right now in technology is fucking crazy.
That's wild. I'm not fucking scanning my face. I'm not going.
If this shit becomes successful and stops some shit like later on, like that, this might be the new wave. The
government got your whole face right now.
Oh, absolutely. They got it when I put it in.
They do that at the Amazon markets.
For real?
Like the Food Fresh. What happened? What you're about to talk about?
For real?
They do that, yeah.
Okay, because this is crazy. This one got me.
Yeah.
So I scanned my face. She said, "Oh, you don't have a debit card on file." I said, what the fuck you mean? She said, yeah, I can't let you in until you get a debit card on file. I'm like, what?
You're going to a basketball game? It sounds like you're going to a cruise.
I'm just getting the fan store. That's all I'm trying to do. So I put my debit card on file, right? Stepson, we get in there, it look like a boutique. They only got like 9 pieces in that bitch. I was like, well, where's all the shit at? So we leave, right? He's like, oh, I have this basketball in my pocket. I said, dog, why are you stealing the basketball? I said, yo, go get the basketball back. He hands it to the lady. She looks at it like, oh, there's no return, like, computer. She says, oh, you already paid for it. What the fuck you talking about? She said the system reads whatever item comes out of here, and then it pings it to your phone.
I didn't get no notification.
I looked down. The notification came up right as she said that, because we just exited. It said, thank you for your purchase, for whatever you got. So now I find the big fan store, and I'm like, yo, do I get a bag or nothing? No, you put the shit on. And once you walk out of there with it, as long as the tag is on there, it will scan, and then that's you checking out by you leaving with the item. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. So
but nobody explained that to you when you put your debit card on file?
No, but I knew something was up when I looked at the reviews on the app, because it said 1.5, because you have to have a Clippers app just to even get in. I was like, yo, I'm a fan now. Fuck
Shame.
Have you been on a cruise? This is like how it is.
I feel like the cruise was easier to get on. Like,
no, honestly.
Because they still ask you for your shit, man. Like all this, it was like, you want to have your biometrics on. I said,
what was your temperament at this time? I know I would have been overwhelmed and frustrated.
Defeated.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, I came this far already. 2 hours to drive. It actually took us exactly 2 hours and 40 minutes because it rained a little bit on Saturday.
Just to watch the Clippers
lose 2 by 13 to OKC. That boy Shea nice though. But yeah, did that. Finally got my house like 85% back to where it needs to be. All the shit dried and everything. So now I gotta call a plumber though for tomorrow. But the lady next door was like, yo, your house is done. I said, yeah, I tried to tell you how to get this done faster. I was like, let the water mitigation dudes dry your shit, and then you go call everyone else, because then you be on other people's time. I'm done with handymen. I'm done with electricians. I don't want nobody in my fucking house no more, man. So, yeah. Hit my hand class. Random shit to get fill in time, man. Let's go ahead. Lex said he wanted to get some shit off his chest real quick, so we go give him some shine. Something he feels dearly
about. Not clearing his throat. Okay, sir.
So I was scrolling through my phone this morning.
And
I don't know why it ignited within me just this energy. Because I really don't care at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I was just like, yo, enough. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So, we're bringing back a story from however many months ago.
Was I here?
When Wayne didn't get the Super Bowl?
Okay, I think it must have been before me. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it wasn't that long ago.
Okay.
But anyway, they announced the Super Bowl halftime. They gave it to Kendrick.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl's in New Orleans. So everyone's like, hey, how come Wayne didn't
That's
get
his
it?
hometown, right?
That's his hometown.
Okay.
And back then, I said, hey, I think a lot of the internet was on the same time, but like I didn't need the internet to tell me how I felt.
Yeah.
Hey, one, this motherfucker barely claimed New Orleans. He claims New York. He claims Miami. He has a song with Jay-Z where he said, I had to say goodbye, Katrina. And hello, Brooklyn. You barely there, dog. I don't want to hear it. 1, 2. Super Bowl. It was probably better for you to have the Super Bowl 10 years ago when it was in New Orleans, and nobody gave a fuck then. And I think it was Beyonce or whoever was there at that time. Nobody said shit then.
When he was more relevant, possibly.
It's not that he's not relevant. Like, the thing is, I think
It's Beyonce though.
I think he's on a short list to where maybe he could do a Super Bowl. Like,
has he
his
said
stature.
anything? I know.
Oh no, he has, and this is why I get more frustrated.
Okay.
Your fans and it has to do more with the Drake beef than it has to do with Wayne. But then Wayne got caught up in it and started talking, and that's where I'm like, all right, man. Because then he starts saying, man, I've been working my whole life for this opportunity, and they snatched it from me. What? Didn't know you were not in consideration for this. You were never in consideration. You just heard the internet say, hey, man, maybe Wayne should do it since it's his hometown. And the only time someone from the hometown did it was when Dr. Dre did it for LA a couple years ago.
Oh, that's not like a normal standard.
It's not a normal thing. Just like, oh, who's here? And that was enough for me. Like, Wayne, shut the fuck up. Like, and then I was happy the internet put every fucking performance he's had. They put it on the internet. Like, this is what y'all want to see. He doesn't know how to perform. I'm sorry. His stature as an icon, as a rapper, as a hip hop artist is way higher than his performance. His live performance is not there. It's not the reason why he's Wayne. Never has been. And that's fine. You can do all these other places. You can't do the Super Bowl.
Ever?
I'm not saying ever. I'm just saying, like, Kendrick is 100 times better performer than Wayne will ever be.
He's very creative in like the performances.
And the thing is, Kendrick's better than most people that are going to be in consideration.
Wayne is a great lyricist. His analogies.
The Super Bowl don't give a fuck about no lyricism.
Yeah, they want that performance.
They asked me this question, and I thought it was. You don't answer it. I would want to know from you though. What songs would you think Lil Wayne would play? That's the one that got me. When they asked that, I was like, "Fuck, y'all got me."
Welcome to the Candy Shop.
That's 50 Cent.
She means lollipop.
Yeah. I'm okay. It's still candy. Still candy.
What is it? The officer, police officer.
Okay, we had two.
What is that one? He's like, I got 9 bathrooms. I can shit all day. Nigga. What's that one with like Nicki Minaj? Let's see.
I don't know that one.
Hey,
we had 3.
Super Bowl.
But you think the white audience will get that too?
We had 3.
Those were like major songs that were like on the radio, right?
I would love it too, right?
The problem is because we're in the age bracket of our generation where
Right.
Wayne is the GOAT, right? And so I have already had an issue with that
Why
for
you
a
vote
long
that?
time. Because that's y'all GOAT. It's not my GOAT.
Then who at our time when he was most relevant, who would you say was more?
Grandmaster Flash.
Who was?
No, I understand why our generation says it.
Yeah.
He's just not. It's
So who would you think was better at him than in that time period?
in the time period.
Yeah, like who else was
That
popular?
hasn't been on the stage.
I'm not gonna go too far into that because I don't want because we got a lot of other stuff going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just gonna fit because I just laid the
Motherfucker,
context.
give us
for
2
what I'm
names,
saying.
man. God
Jay-Z's
dang.
always been my GOAT, but he wasn't
Was he
from the
super-
generation.
I don't even
of the
think he's
same-
done the Super Bowl.
No, he's not gonna do the Super Bowl
Why?
because his performance ain't great either. But the reason why he can still do arenas is because he has a big enough audience to where we are so
I'm not
connected
gonna
to
let
the
you say that.
songs.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's more interpersonal. I fuck with it. I've gone to see Jay in concert, and it's very great interpersonally.
And so
The
that
music
works
outright
for
is like
smaller
all the
venue. It doesn't work for the Super Bowl.
You need a certain type of energy.
He's not Prince or Michael Jackson or someone with the vocals that I can stand here and sing, and everyone's like, "Whoa,
and
that's fucking crazy!"
dancing and moving.
He's
and...
gonna stand there and rap "Dead Presidents," and everyone's gonna be like, there's gonna be in each group that's like, "Yes," and there's gonna be a bunch of fucking Bud Light drinking motherfuckers at home like, what the fuck is going on?
But there's no one else that you would get from rap now.
I understand. There's a short list. We can't. This ain't gonna go on forever. We need some new people to come up to handle this. They're gonna have an issue. Anyway, that's just what happened a couple months ago. What I scrolled through today.
Yeah, what got
because there was people like me on the internet, and then there was people defending him, like, "Oh yeah, I can't believe that they didn't do this, and they're disrespecting the legend, and I can't believe it. Boycott Jay-Z, boycott the Super Bowl, boycott this and that." And I'm just like, what? Fast forward to now. he has his own festival, Louisianafest.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah. And it happened. And so they had a Hot Boys reunion. Great moment, right? They come out and they do their thing.
Where'd you watch it?
I didn't watch it.
Okay,
I just saw a clip of them reuniting, and then I saw a clip of him bringing the Super Bowl shit up, and I said, "Oh, he's still mad because it happened." The festival was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So he's on stage and he's like, "Yeah, I was snubbed. They ripped this away from me," and I'm like, "Oh, he really believes this shit." And then I'm thinking, like, all right, damn, all the people, because he was on stage. You know, Birdman was on that shit. All the people that was riding for you. I didn't know this festival was happening. Didn't nobody help promote it? No, none of the people that was doing all this and that. It was like, oh, this happened. And it was just kind of a matter of fact thing. And then also last night, that little Drake news popped up. He didn't even go to your festival. He was over here so butthurt about his old friend being in Kendrick video. He wanted to go troll him at a basketball game.
Drake saw DeMar DeRozan play They played against Toronto, I want to say, and then he was in there saying he was a pussy boy and all this.
He was mean mugging him the whole time.
Drake was talking shit about the basketball player.
Yeah.
No,
He owns that team, or
no,
He's like an ambassador.
because it's
Okay.
Toronto.
It's Toronto. They gave him a key.
He's a fan.
Yeah.
And then he said some shit, and I was like,
I thought it was
wow.
funny because DeMar posted on there. He was Smokey. He was like, "When Debo here, I'll be quiet.
Right, because
But when he going, I'll be yelling."
because you can see him the whole time. He's mean mugging him, right? But anytime DeMar's head kind of turned towards him, he would do this. He'd turn around, right? And I was so irritated. Like, okay, Drake didn't go to your festival. He was doing that. He didn't even go to your festival. I feel like that's something he would do. I don't think Nicki was there. She was on that bullshit.
What you
Did
doing
nobody
is not
that was
fair,
riding for
though.
Wayne?
Kendrick's already been on stage. Let's just say that. Let's get the elephant out the room. He was part of the group when they went in the West Coast. Let Wayne get his shine, bro.
Let Wayne get his shine?
own
What?
Do you
city.
think there's any chance he will bring Wayne out during his performance?
Oh, not after this.
Not after this.
Not after this.
You know, you block your own blessings. I blocked a few of my own blessings.
I don't think it was gonna happen
Yeah,
before
this is
that.
one of those
Why do
moments.
you think I've been
I've
learning
been blocking
to
my
shut the fuck up? Okay.
My point ain't that big. I'll let this shit go. I might need you later on.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't
Welcome
think.
to the zone I'm in these days.
I didn't
I
think it
need
was
you
gonna
later
happen
on.
before this, but once he started leaning into this, like, yeah, let them feel sorry for me, and then so he's doing that, and here's the other thing. So New Orleans is so like trying to lean into it too. They gave him the key to the city. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the key to the city.
Recently?
This all happened in one weekend.
festival, all
This is why I
everything.
was like, wow, they're really. He's so butthurt that they're just trying to cheer him up like a child. They gave him the key to the city, which I would have probably gave it to him by now already, but okay, cool, that's fine. And then what I heard was New Orleans is going to start their own Hollywood Walk of Fame, and
Oh,
he's
that's
going to be
cool.
the first star.
I think that's cool.
And I think independently that would be cool, but I'm over here like, yo, they're only starting this to give him a star because he's so sad.
You feel like everyone's... Or maybe they're just trying to give him his flowers.
You see,
Why not
someone
that?
said that to me earlier,
Why
and they were
not
just like, he
that?
deserves every flower. He needs every. You know. We're not gonna walk around like Lil Wayne does not get flowers on a consistent basis. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I'm fucking sick of it.
Sassy.
I'm so sick of it. I cannot wait.
I'm sick
I
of it.
cannot wait until the Super Bowl when Kendrick comes out with no fucking features, don't let nobody on the stage, and just kills that shit. And everybody, someone's gonna try to find some way to complain, but everyone's gonna have to shut the fuck up. The West Coast has won 2024. No one's taking that shit from us. And that's just it. And we gonna come in 2025 hot.
Lex has spoken. You heard
God,
it here.
I'm sick of this
you
shit.
heard it here first, okay?
I don't even hate Wayne like that. It's just so it's
You're frustrated that he threw a pity
childish.
party, and now you feel like because
then
of
there's-
his fit, he's being catered to. Is that what it is?
yes.
Yeah, okay. Versus maybe, you know, if we look on the other side of things, like maybe this series of events triggered him getting more acknowledgement and flowers and praise, but I feel like that's life. There's
But I
always a
think it's
domino
all
effect.
fake. That's why I was saying all the people that were really
It's
going
not
at him.
genuine.
They wouldn't even repost his flyer. Hey, this festival's coming. Didn't nobody share it? Did nobody promote it? Like, hey, our
That's
man's is throwing a whole festival.
You know me, I go hard for my people.
I can't imagine how stressful it is trying to sell out a festival and make sure everybody's paid. But hey, nah.
Yeah.
And then your the biggest mans of all that you signed, the king of the world, was like, nah, I got something to do. I gotta go to this regular season basketball game to troll this man because I'm sad that we're not friends anymore.
Oh,
that's fucking nuts to me. And I know we have a demographic. I'm sure there's a lot of Wayne fans that listen to us that really, please put it in the comment. Do not text me on the side.
At me.
Put it on the internet. Even though I only check the internet once or twice a day. Put it on the internet. Run it up. Whatever it is. I'm here to argue.
Oh, he's
Your
ready.
goat is not my goat. I'm sick of it. And now if he ever does get a Super Bowl, that shit gonna be tainted. Because I'm like, hey, don't nobody want to see this shit.
He want to drop 30 tonight. I'm
Lex said at me.
I think he's wrong,
like,
but I just didn't want to argue. I didn't want to die on this hill because we got way more. And trust me, I'm gonna let you get. I'll let you get your shit off.
You got some hills.
Let's have some fun real quick before we get some problems. All right?
At Lex.
No. We're still here.
Yep.
Still random shit to fill in time.
Okay.
All right.
What's
you ever
next?
snuck out of the house? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you do it? Tell me the story. I want to know.
It depends
Several
on the
times. I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
Here, now I know what you're gonna do. Let me get my shit out the way. Give you context clues. Get your minds going. Right.
Yeah.
A few times, what I used to do, Mom, if you hear this, hey, sorry.
Statute of limitations.
So my room was directly above this room, right? So and their shit was way over there.
You tied a bunch of sheets together.
No, but I did. So I've learned that white noise will save you a long time ago. So we had a dog, Satchel. God rest his soul, but he was a dickhead in his last 5 years on the
Big
of
Satch.
life. But he'll get up, start shaking, claws hitting the
Shaking
tile
like
floor,
Caesar.
and clinking.
Dude, they make all the noise.
He's like, bro, stop! What are you doing? It's me, man. So what I had to do is I put Satchel in my
Snitching.
room with the fan on. He'd just be asleep, and then I go down.
Trying to get pneumonia.
Open
Wait,
the
how
door.
would you get down though?
So I had a stick shift. So I put the car in
Neutral.
neutral, let it roll down that
out.
hill.
But you would come down the stairs just super
Man,
quietly.
come down the stairs super quietly. No
Slip
each
out the
step.
door.
You know what step. You know.
Absolutely.
Shut up. You say that I'm too big to be coming down the stairs
You ain't
quietly.
shit.
Yeah,
We will
how
not
quiet
fat
was
shame.
you?
I was 215
We will
back
not
then.
fat shame.
Yeah, I'm a small guy. I'm same height.
You better not.
Dude told me the other day I hadn't seen him in a while. He's like, "You ain't grew." I said, "Yeah, sideways." To be honest, bro. Like he was like, "You the same height in 6th grade." I was like, "Yeah." But yeah, I did that. Definitely never out the window. Always through the garage. And that was my move though. Dropping that car into neutral and then rolling down the street and then turning it on because you assume it's already another car down the street because you know how the neighborhood is set up. But what about y'all? How'd y'all get out? And I made it 3 hours, so keep going. Never been caught.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever sneaked out in.
How'd you go to the parties then when we was in high school? Because
In
I used
high
to run into
school.
your ass there.
Oh, we used to say we were spending the night at somebody's
Yeah, that
house.
shit ain't gonna work for our kids.
And my mom used to be call me from the house phone. So I would at midnight. So I would go to the party, then race back home to my friend's house, call her from the landline, and then we would go back to the party. We ain't shit. But
Hey.
I've definitely snuck out
That's crazy. They gave her peace of
And
mind
other-
though. That gave your mind that that's not enough for me. I need every 15 minutes.
You gotta respect the hey, you're about to go through all this to go to your little party.
Yeah.
You know?
Gotta
No, but I've
respect
had to sneak out of houses for other situations.
That's okay. I got that. Wait, I got that. Chill, you're ahead of the curve.
We
Relax,
landed on
overachiever.
something.
You think about sneak out? And I'm like, look at my mom and dad were crazy. I
I
would
want
have
to
got my ass
I want to know
beat.
about sneaking in too, though. That's
Oh,
all.
hella.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You sneak out though, not in. You're an in guy, I know, but I want to know if you were able to sneak out. In is crazy.
Well, my mom was always dead asleep very early. I didn't really have
That's true.
to. It's not really
Your
hard
son
to
be
sneak
up
out.
still when she be like,
And
yo.
then when she was, once I started driving, I was pretty much grown to the point where she's like, hey, I'm sure he gonna come home.
Yeah.
So anytime
You
I've
didn't have
had
a curfew or anything? You didn't have to check in? Or?
she just never woke. I always knew she wasn't gonna wake up to be like, oh, check on me
Yeah.
and maybe check in. It
given
was-
what she does for work, that shit's so amazing to me.
Listen.
You know what his mom do?
I don't.
What we were watching earlier.
So the
Dead
only-
ass?
Yeah, the
I
only
would've
time I've
never
ever
thought
had
that.
to sneak out was when I was grounded, and then I couldn't really sneak out far. So what I did do was I took our landline because it was cordless, and I run a few houses down.
And you would plug it in?
No, I run a few houses down to Jonathan's house or whatever, and we be playing. This is like summer break. I'm grounded.
The receivers of those were strong back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, damn, that's powerful.
Because I was over, because my mom was ridiculous, right? It don't matter what the offense is. Little, big, whatever, she gonna start. Her minimum bid is 30 days. The minimum bid is 30 days. And I'm like, yo.
Prop 36 is on this.
30 days for talking back to you? That's fucking nuts.
Sound like my dad.
And I'd be up there at the window looking down, crazy FOMO. Everyone's outside. And then like they having extra fun because they know I'm looking down because they mean-spirited friends.
You're so silly.
Anyway,
You're silly.
so during the day while she at work, I'm like, she ain't coming. Yeah. But I know she gonna call because she will do that.
You started to learn how far the receiver would go?
I go, we be playing video games, whatever we doing. She called, be like, yeah, what up, what up? I do remember one time, I kind of came out lollygagging thinking I had like extra 20 minutes and I'm trying to walk back. And I look, before I always I go to his backyard because it was on the main street. And I peeped the mailbox because she always stopped at the mailbox. And she was there. And I can't cross over to the house without being seen by the mailbox. So I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm just like, fuck. Well, I was like, I got this. I got it.
Positive self-talk.
So she gonna come. She goes to the mailbox.
It's an adolescent brain, too.
Yeah.
I got the phone in my hand.
Yeah.
And so I'm sneaking. I'm like fucking, like you ever seen like a lion creep through the tall grass? Like I'm creeping through like different cars. I'm hiding behind the cars, getting closer and closer.
You're a criminal, dog.
She driving, she parked.
Okay.
She parked, she got the car, she goes to the garage. As soon as she hits that button and the garage starts coming down, I know she ain't gonna look back. She's going straight in the house. It starts going down, boom, taking off. I sprint past the door. I go down the sidewalk, underneath the kitchen, hop the fence to the backyard. Because the backyard was like a place that she made that was like livable to where like, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to be outside chilling.
Hanging out, exactly.
So I was outside because I had my boombox back there. And I was just out there. So I hopped the fence and I jumped on the little swing or whatever and just turned the music up a little bit. Like I was out there, had the phone
sweating.
Just in case it
Just
rained.
in case you called. Now you're responsible.
And she was like, oh. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, she ain't got me. And then she just goes back in the house, I'm like, goddamn right, she ain't got me. And then that was it.
Damn.
Now,
that's a good one.
I've definitely snuck a few people in here.
You ain't shit.
Look, when them days when we get out of school at 11:50, practice started.
It's always the minimum days.
Practice started at 2 because it's cold and want to be out there all.
These schools be having more minimum days than we did too.
No, we got cameras though. My mom and dad would have been had me on the ring. Yeah, you can't look back then. Definitely not.
I think though, if the ring was around back then, it's same as like criminals are one step ahead. We would have found. I would have found a way. I don't know about everybody, like everybody, but I would have found a way.
Minimum days are wild. I used to work for a youth-led organization. I won't say what. And I had found out through one of the classes I was teaching that my 7th and 8th graders, every Tuesday or Wednesday when they would have minimum days, they were having orgies. And they would trade houses. Like, I'm telling you.
That was going on.
Minimum days is wild. Oh, sounds familiar.
No.
Y'all were having freak offs?
No,
y'all were having diddy parties?
That wasn't me.
Orgy is a strong word.
The JV field bathrooms was like a crazy place. I'm trying to tell you.
Did you ever go in there after
Why you?
She won't even be on mic.
Why was she hella specific?
You know you could sneak in.
Look at it.
Did you ever do that shit? Did
No.
you know that? Oh.
No, but why did you come in like it was a club? Like it was like like it was a girls' club.
You know the mic can still hear you.
Okay, I'll tell you off camera.
It's too late now. Did you ever have a freak off in the I might turn that shit up so loud right now. Hey, dude, let me know you had a freak off in the JV bathroom. Them beige bricks was nasty.
The gym bathrooms.
Oh,
man.
man.
I can talk about that. I'll tell you guys later.
No, I definitely, But even
the basketball gym.
You're right, though. I feel like at a certain time, my mom and dad stopped checking on me. So I like when I knew girls that had cars too, I'm like, yo, just.
So that's how I live my life. My mom never checked on me, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, if you wanted to sneak into my house, you had to be committed. Because
your mom's room is at the end, though. So I remember, though, it's like, all you got to do is make it past one hallway and then close the door. You good.
You had to be committed to the point where because she got up so early, I'm assuming you're here hella late at night, that you might have to stick around for a minute. So they're upstairs is out of the question.
Lex was holding bitches hostages. Hostage?
No, it's not hostage. If
No
I give
water,
you-
can't go to the bathroom.
No, yeah, I'm throwing
My
them in.
bitches were struggling. I know they were hungry. They had to pee. They wanted to wash the makeup
And
off.
Frank,
Say they got stuck on
I was locking them in a closet for 2
No,
hours.
literally.
Really?
Hey, the last girl. Well, the thing is, so she come in.
is wrong with
She come in and we be up. We be up, right?
He said, I ain't catching these 30 days.
My mom wake up at like 2:30 in the morning or whatever. And then I know she gonna be upstairs for a second. I'm like, all right. So I know by the creaks on the upstairs, okay, she hitting the bathroom. Okay, she just standing up. And then I know like, okay, she's heading to the stairs. We got to figure this out. All this is pre-planned, premeditated, preordained. I know what I'm doing. I know every move in the house. So she's over here panic attack. She's like, why are you not freaking out? I was like, because she's not coming yet. And then she'll sit down. She's like, all right, how much time we got? Oh, 13 minutes. And then,
Not the specific.
and we'll be sitting there and we do whatever we do. And then all of a
Do whatever
sudden,
you do in 13 minutes?
we
Damn.
already had a closet door open. Then you hold the handle so it doesn't slam shut. Boom. She ain't gonna go in the closet. She only uses that closet for
Look at
bullshit,
the ratchet
right?
now we be
He
doing.
really
She
got
come
bitches in the
downstairs.
closet.
It's not out of the ordinary at 3 a.m. for me to be awake watching TV.
Okay.
Right? She come downstairs,
South Park.
whatever. She get her 6 pots of coffee on. She go upstairs, do her thing.
She checks on you?
I'll go check. No, she ain't really checking on me. She's just like, "Oh, you up?" Like she's disappointed in
If she's
where
not
my
going
life
in your
is
room,
going.
why are you making the girl go in the closet?
Because she's downstairs.
There's a bigger picture that we're missing here right now.
And then so she goes upstairs, and then I'm like, "You good? All right. You need
I
some
thought you
crackers."
were in your bedroom. You're
crackers.
downstairs.
No, I said upstairs is out of the question. We're not going to my
So
bed.
she's in like a hall closet downstairs.
Yeah.
Like a jacket closet. A coat.
Yeah.
I am not liable to go in my closet in the morning. It'd be
And
rare.
then no one's going in there. And then finally, I was like, "All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like." We can kick it for a minute, and then you have to run back in. I'm gonna pretend to be asleep on the couch. She gonna walk out the door, and then we good. And then you can either go home, or by this time the sun about to be up. You just want to stay another hour or
These
so.
girls must have really fucked with you. The first time you put me in the closet, the first opportunity to dip, I would have been, the fuck, nigga? You stuffing me in a closet?
Not every girl
I'm
stays that
out.
late, but yeah. The thing is, if you don't get here by a certain time, then you have to commit for like the whole night.
what we're getting at is that your mom was going through her routine, like that she needed to get through the day,
I understand.
which did not involve talking to you.
She ain't worried about
Because
what
I'm
I
not
got
trying
going
to.
on.
Yeah. Now as an adult, I understand. It's like, yo, whatever y'all about to do, I gotta mentally prepare myself for what this fuck shit I'm about to walk into at work or my day.
No,
Knowing
really.
that bitch don't end until 7. You know what I mean? Like my day is all on. I'm like, yo, I just gotta get in a good space. My kids gonna have plenty of opportunity.
Feel it.
It's just that camera.
Yeah, that's a game changer right
That
there.
camera's hard, man.
But I will say, like, let me be careful because my family might. Let me not say no names. But a young lady that I know, just going off to college, she lived in a home where her father put cameras around all the exits, like literally, but she still knew the blind spot. So she would
that's
jump
'cause he showed
over.
her.
She knew the blind spot just on like the corner, and then she would go through the yard. She had an agreement with the neighbor boy because they went to the same school. So she would jump through his yard to escape, and then when she came back, she would go through his backyard, jump over his fence, go back into her backyard, and hit the blind spot. So I will say,
mad at it.
kids or young people,
We gonna find
they
a way.
will find a way.
They're not gonna know how
but
to
at
play
least
with
we're
that.
gonna make it difficult.
I know all my exits. I covered all of them. There's no way. There is a blind spot, but you cannot get out or in my
Do
house.
not
without-
underestimate the power of horny.
Dude. Or just wanting to get out.
power
FOMO.
of
I'm trying to
Young
think of it
people
myself.
FOMO.
There's no way that you can just get out of
Look
that.
at
shit,
trying to
though.
get
Fuck
okay.
no.
What's
Nah.
I hope your kids do a podcast in 20 years and they start revealing
The
how they were
way
sneaking out.
I got those doors covered and the front window, there's no way because I got it positioned so I can know where a motherfucker if he coming to try to come inside.
You gonna see someone with a fucking what do they call them joints now? The ski masks? What's the fancy?
I've seen
what's
dudes with the
Yeah,
shicey.
right.
The
with the-
shicey.
So my neighbor, didn't I tell you his house got egged?
He gonna come like Will Smith and Bad Boys too with the
No,
little
these
squirter.
kids are gonna be
But my
smart.
neighbor's house got egged, and I saw a kid with a shicey on. I think because I can't say it on here. That's why I can't say it.
I don't know, man. Kids
Did I
might
tell you
start
about
learning
him?
how to hack
Okay,
into the
all right.
cameras and shit.
I can't say it out
Put a
loud.
still image
Power
on.
of love.
Your kids are gonna learn how to hack in, put a still image. You're gonna think no one passed
Well, you
through.
can do that. Like they do have jammers now. Signal
Right?
jammers for these.
These
Hey.
kids
But
will
then
learn.
but I know.
I'm taking a little
Hey, you
pebble.
go off, yeah. I know you was gone though.
I saw the glitch.
Why my shit? Right now they think they smarter than me. Like, bro, no, chill.
I'm taking a little pebble.
So be telling my kids.
I'm knocking that camera just a couple inches to the left. Boop.
And then we're doing that lion crawl, like you said.
Be out there ready. All right, now you get my hand claps. I want to have some fun real quick.
Power of horny.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna stop them. I just know you going. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
can't stop them.
Exactly. Just knowing. Exactly.
Let's get to these props. You know the first three ain't that bad, so we're gonna be able to kumbaya it out. Prop 34 restricts spending of prescription drug revenues by certain healthcare providers. Requires certain providers to spend 98% of revenues from federal discount prescription drug programs on direct patient care. Authorizes statewide negotiation of Medi-Cal drug prices. This is a trick one, okay? When I read it, I didn't understand it. You asked me when you came in. Oh, hey, I was in the middle of reading this so I can explain it right. There's a specific healthcare organization or company. It's like something AIDS or whatever. They're using the money that they get from like prescription drugs from Medi-Cal to enter into the housing market, and then they're basically slum lords. Mm-hmm. So this prop is looking at saying that you have to spend 98% of your revenue towards direct patient care. Like it's like a revenge thing. Like you've been doing this and running slums, and now we're gonna put this prop in order now.
It's reparations.
Yes, pretty much. Or to say, hey, look, like you can't use your money to like run a different housing, or like run a housing project.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm okay with that because people are getting exploited.
Yeah.
So I just think that when people, look at the ballot, make sure you do your homework. Yeah, we're giving you the cliff notes on certain things, but even before I say yes or no on something, I need to know what it was first.
Yeah.
I don't know y'all thoughts on that.
No, I think it's like the language with all of the different props. The language is very tricky and particular and can be somewhat misleading or circling. So I think, like you said, just really making sure that you're truly understanding the language and then the root of where it's coming from.
Right. Lex?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that one again. It sound right, but then I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean the last three videos that I looked at, because sometimes I like to. You can find explanation videos on YouTube for certain props. Let me give that out there too for people.
But just make sure you're being cautious of your source,
right?
Especially where they align. So even like as we listen to Carl and his explanations, being mindful of where he aligns in his thoughts, and so I think that's always important of where you're hearing, because there's always going to be a bit of bias, and that's just natural.
Absolutely.
Scary places.
That's what I told you though. I said, look, man, I'm not trying to sway nobody.
Yeah, you're just trying to present information.
Yeah, I'm just presenting info, man. Whatever y'all think, I'm just telling you where I lean, and then if people said yes or no, the way it's explained to me, I'm voting no on. I mean, I'm voting yes on that.
Yeah.
My bad.
Freudian slip.
All right, Prop 35 provides permanent funding for Medi-Cal healthcare initiatives. Did I just read this one? No, I didn't. Okay, Prop 35 provides permanent funding for medical health care services. Makes permanent the existing tax on managed health care insurance plans, which is approved by the federal government. Provides revenues to pay for Medi-Cal health care services. Fiscal impact, short-term state costs between roughly $1 billion to $2 billion annually to increase funding for certain health programs. Total funding increases between roughly $2 billion to $5 billion annually. Unknown long-term fiscal effects. Supporters are Planned Parenthood, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, American Academy of Pediatrics, and opponents, there's none at this time. Sounds like something we should vote.
Sounds like
It's an easy yes for me. I mean, it's easy yes. I lean into healthcare should be accessible to everybody at any time. I would dream of universal healthcare, so it's a definitely yes.
When you talk about Medicare, Medi-Cal, and who that affects the most. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm all for that. All right, here's the one.
Oh, I do have to go to the bathroom. So I don't want anyone to think I'm excusing myself to the bathroom at some point. But I'm going to get through these important things.
Okay.
It's not a scapegoat.
You might
want to
go to the bathroom after I read this one. And then come back and chime in on what you feel.
That's fair.
I'm not swinging the pendulum today. I just think that this is a heavy-weighted topic in that we're moving backwards as a society. If y'all remember, I want to say 2014 or 2015, there was a prop, I think Prop 33, where it said that certain felonies were knocked down to misdemeanors. Right? So now Prop 36 is trying to change that, and we're moving backwards. We're back to search and frisk.
Oh, God.
Allows felony charges and increases sentences for certain drug and theft crimes. She said, is this the one? You got to go to bed? Yeah,
okay. I'm listening.
Allows felony charges for possessing certain drugs and for thefts under $950. If defendants has 2 prior drug or theft convictions. Fiscal impact, state criminal justice costs likely ranging from several tens of millions to low hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Local criminal justice costs likely in tens of millions of dollars annually. Supporters, Crime Victims United of California, California District Attorneys Association, Family Business Association of California. Opponents, Diana Becton, District Attorney Kontrikowski, Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice. So basically, right, if you commit a crime for under $950, depending on what it is or if you had priors already, they can upgrade it now again to a felony.
Sounds similar to the third strike, right?
Exactly.
Trying to go away for life for stealing a slice of pizza.
Yeah, so they can have free slavery and force people to do fucking manual labor.
And then the DA
get them in a treatment program. Do something else. No.
And I'm with you on that because the DA is going to take our tax dollars, work these cases that less than that, less than $950. Certain things you putting felonies on. You gonna start fighting trials and using our taxpayer money on it for shit that I
feisty. The way the DA put all that shit on me, I was like, hey, what? Like, you know me?
They gave you all kind of enhancements.
What did I do?
Side note too, though, I ain't gonna front. I'm at an age right now where I'm trying to stay away from these young dudes. At the game yesterday with some dudes out there. LA dudes always look different. Tattoos all on the face, do rags out, and I was like, damn, I become that guy where I was like, I don't want to be around this right now because I don't know. Cross the street. Well, LA's a wild place, bro. Yeah, man, LA's wild. I feel vulnerable with my kids. Like if I pop off too much, it's like someone's gonna test me. So therefore, I don't like feeling like that. So now I tuck my tail now.
You work in defense, so like that's smart. That's like being like I'm gonna avoid situations where I'm gonna be heightened, and because I have my children with me, I know I'm gonna be extra heightened if something pops off. So I think that's just smart to plan ahead and be like, I'm not even gonna put myself in a situation where I might have to get to this level in front of my children, I'm
glad you said that because that's where my problem was. It had nothing to do with like my wife fighting that building. It was more so like, yo, if we got to run 1.5 miles for some trouble, these motherfuckers ain't keeping up. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
The helicopter circling the house earlier. There's a helicopter out here. I was like, yo, he's saying he's looking for 2 males right now. And he's only he was right here. Like circling around here and then came close. I was like, nah, they wherewithal is trash. So, yeah, I'm definitely no on 36, man. The enhancements that we have here and just incarcerating people, we're supposed to be getting away from mass incarceration.
Yes.
That's a step backwards.
Yeah.
But they tried to sneak that on here on this ballot with this particular presidential election. They trying to incite people right now. Measure G funds San Diego County transportation infrastructure and safety projects through a 50-cent sales tax to repair, upgrade roads, bridges, storm drains, rail lines, and prevent railway bluff collapse, reduce traffic congestion, improve pedestrian, bicyclist, and driver safety, improve public transit, protect wildfire habit and air quality, and fill potholes. Shall the measure authorizing a 50-cent sales tax raising $350 million annually until ended by voters, requiring citizen oversight, public spending, disclosure, and independent annual audits be adopted.
Yeah, we need them audits. Make sure that money's going where it's supposed to.
I got a hard one with this Because I got to see the shit in the hood.
Yeah, exactly. Which neighborhoods are going to get this supported infrastructure? Where is this money going to be really allocated to?
They upgraded the street on top of the hill, but I felt like they used that, like the Chargers leaving and all that on previous ballots, like 7-8 years ago. And then it was like, bro, this shit was like so slow. Now, I'm voting on this, yes, because if you remember, we had the floods last year. A lot of people didn't have flood insurance.
Exactly.
They weren't cleaning the gutters as it is, though. So it's like, yo,
it wasn't maintained. Yeah.
So I'm with it. And the wildfire thing, we argued about that in regards to insurance last week, but I'm with it. It's just, damn, bro, when can we see it? And I have to remember that La Jolla is part of the city, you know, Del Cerro and all those places, and those places are old neighborhoods too. But it's like, fuck, can we get something for the hood?
Yeah.
Can we get downtown right? You know what I mean? Like around downtown, those areas, Barrio Logan. Which is getting better. Like, Barrio Logan looks amazing.
Yeah, well, why?
Yeah.
We know why.
Gentrification.
Exactly.
They let some certain shops still, you know, be there. But it's weird, man. You see white people picking up dog shit on Barrio Logan. I'm like, yo, something's going on. Like,
hella crazy.
Anything on that? Yes, no?
I'm a yes on that one. I mean, yeah, I would like to see exactly. It would be nice if there was more of a detailed plan, and maybe there is, on exactly where neighborhood cities are going to get prioritized, but I'm not going to vote no against resources going to, you know, places that need it.
And just have a higher sales tax. Chula Vista got one of the crazier higher sales tax.
Half
Yeah,
a
I think I
cent
had to,
on the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I had to step back because I think initially I had that same mentality. I was like, hey, man, this shit ain't going to go where it needs to go. But one can say that about a lot of different taxes, right? So I had to really jump into like a pure economist bag and take a step back and be like, you know what? When it comes to efficiency, actual economic growth, the biggest indicator is investment in infrastructure. And so when you had all these big bills for infrastructure period throughout the country being denied, I'm like, you guys are dumb. And it's just more, that's where that whole like short term, I only got to be here 4-year mentality shit comes in. And it messes up the country and makes it so inefficient because it's like, yeah, you're not going to see the fruits of this labor. You're just going to be looked at as like the guy who put us in the short term pain that the investment costs.
It's investing in our city's future.
But if you invest it, not even just the country, in infrastructure around the world, period, everything benefits. It starts from infrastructure because of how important the infrastructure is in all facets of the economy. And so when the infrastructure is right, you'll see it trickle down into everywhere else in the economy. But the problem is it takes a little while and nobody wants to pull the trigger to be the person looked at like, damn, all our taxes went up. It was a rough half decade because of you. And then down the line, this other president gonna come in and be like, "Hey, yo, the economy's fucking cracking right now. Look what I did." But it wasn't what you did. It was this move right here.
Yeah.
That we all had pain and we got through it, and now we're seeing the fruits of the labor.
Yeah.
Infrastructure. All that other shit is cool. If you, it's never a fail to invest in infrastructure.
Got it.
All right, Measure C. Shall Charter Section 66 be amended to eliminate the primary election when two or fewer candidates for a particular seat for Board of Education of San Diego Unified School District, including write-in candidates, qualify for primary election, with the qualifying candidates automatically moving forward towards the general election? So,
seems pretty easy.
Yeah, I think basically if it's two people that are running at this time, then we all go to primary election, right? Does that sound right?
Is that for the school board, right?
Yeah, it's for the school board.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm a no on that. That can like promote like nepotism and indoor like politics, and no, I think we should always still be able to vote because that seems like it could be a slippery slope.
No, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding what it is.
A yes vote supports amending San Diego Charter Section 66 to disregard a primary election when two or fewer candidates are running for a position on the Board of Education for the San Diego Unified School District.
People could get grandfathered in. Is that not am I misunderstanding?
No, it sounds like they're trying to save money somewhere because it costs money to throw an election. Why are we doing this extra step when we don't need to?
Because you need protections of nepotism, politics, people getting grandfathered in. If one motherfucker is running the show and there's things that he's doing dirty and people are...
No. It's not saying we're not having an election. It's saying there's multiple stops at the election. Like, we're having a general election.
Yeah.
There's a primary election.
Yeah. I want all of it.
If we don't have a whole bunch of people running,
I agree.
why are we doing this part?
I understand, and I'm telling you...
you still want them to do it.
Exactly. I understand what you're saying, and I understand why you think that's a waste of money, but I don't. I think that should always...
All right. I'm not going down the hill because I don't care enough about it, but...
What are you voting on it?
I don't... It sounds... I'm here for efficiency. It sounds efficient to hey, only one person wants a job.
That's that capitalistic view, though, and that's where like predatory behavior can come in. I have to pee really bad.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's a capitalistic view. I look at it more as a steward of the tax dollar.
I get what you're saying, but
Capitalism.
still why not have the election? Wait, no opposes amending San Diego charter to disregard a primary election.
That's like saying like, okay, only one person's running. We always have these debates set up. Why are we having a debate when there's only one person for the job? Why are we going through all this when only one person wants the job?
What if they get enough people through the write-in process where someone gets the job?
But I'm saying, like, if the write-in, like, why isn't the person being written in running?
Because it's probably cheaper.
All right, maybe.
If I don't go the election route and I just start going public speaking out downtown.
I would think in that case, then there would be a lot of people just getting written in and skipping all the other stuff. But I mean, again, I don't care enough about, unless the fiscal thing says like, hey, this is a big money saver. I don't really care either way. But yeah, it does sound like it's saving a lot of time and money. Let me see who supports it. Go to that little line and
don't
then
even say it.
It's
just a measure, so there's no. It's just one of our local ones. Measure D. Measure D. Adding Charter Section 41.3 and amending Section 41 to strengthen the independence of Ethics Commission. Shall Charter Section 41.3 be added so the Ethics Commission, which regulates city officials, candidates for city office, lobbyists, and consultants, can be eliminated only by voters, appoints its own executive director without council confirmation, independently initiates its own investigations and law enforcement referrals, has been defined qualifications and term limits, and has provided sufficient resources. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know what the hell that means. Like, this is one of those ones where I'd be like, yo, I just don't get it. So let me look it up real quick so that it makes a little bit more sense. We're gonna go to Ballotopedia. So we're on Measure D.
Okay.
A yes for D supports amending Section 41.3 to San Diego Charter, which outlines the provisions. A no opposes it.
God.
I don't even know what the hell that means. Like, I really don't.
Me neither.
It's basically, I'm going to have to look that one up a little bit more and see why that one's a problem, to be real. Because it don't sound like some shit that I don't even know about. Where's 41.3 at? No one knows.
Yeah.
All right, Measure E, City of San Diego sales tax to invest in neighborhood upgrades, which can include fixing potholes, repairing streets, sidewalks, and streetlights, improving parks and libraries, updating police, fire, and paramedic and 911 response, and providing infrastructure and delivering general services across San Diego neighborhoods. Shall the measure be enacted, a 1-cent sale tax will be adopted, generating approximately $400 million per year until ended by voters, requiring citizen oversight and independent audits, with all funding staying in the city of San Diego.
Who are the supporters of that? Does it say?
It doesn't say, because it's a local measure. Here, I'm with him until we started, adding like the police and shit.
I heard parks, libraries, and then I heard Popo, and I was like,
they're part of the city, so that's why
tricky. I gotta look into more.
I want to know where the police funds go to. I'm not saying defund the police and all this other shit, right? I'm not fully there, but I'm also saying that why you need an AR-15 and all these like armory weapons and all this other shit. Like, where's the money going, fam? Like, because like the police response is a problem, right? There's been several times where I've contacted the police in my neighborhood, fam, and they never came. You know what I mean? And it's like, or whether it be my neighbor who's like elderly outside at 11 p.m. at night, whether it be me getting robbed at my house and they're like, oh, yo, you found the people that did it? Why you sound so surprised when I'm calling you? I'm telling you, like, he's in front of me right now. They ain't gonna tell me, you're lucky. Ma'am, are you coming or not?
Exactly. Get here.
Stop playing with me. So if you're raising $400 million, are we getting more police officers? Here's the thing. I can give you all that cash in the world, but if you can't get dudes to stay here, right, because either one, they're quitting because a lot of people don't like working for the police when they start getting there in the first place. I understand it. And number two, you're not providing sufficient training for a lot of these officers and they keep getting in trouble.
Yeah, they over here promoting their jobs like on their car.
Yeah.
Like the little cop cars go by talking about we hiring. Like what?
In the hood too. Like, yo, none of them can work there. Right? Yeah, we got records.
No, you ain't. I'm not even gonna go there.
We got records. Oh
yeah,
man.
I don't know. I think it might be a no for me. I have to look into it more, but
I just saw another potholes in parks on the last measure. Use that.
exactly.
Money.
Yeah, exactly. We can get the funding for the libraries and stuff somewhere else. It's
use
a no,
that
dog.
money. Oh,
I also don't like how everybody in the hood can't work for the police because they all got felonies.
You like my statement?
You watch your mouth.
Yo, relax, bro. I'm the hood. My bad. Damn, man.
I like that. I like that. Good job. We're not stereotyping.
I'm not working for the police, period, even if I ain't got a record. I can't do it.
I definitely wouldn't be able to work for the police, okay?
There's no way. No way. Look, I'll call you when I need you, but right now, fam, I can't just be volunteering.
I'm not calling.
I'll call you when I need you.
I got 4 different people I'm calling before I call the police. Oh, God.
Man. So, all right, measure double H. San Diego Community College District, classroom repair, affordable education, and career measure. Shall San Diego Community College District measures to, I don't even know why it says that, repair classrooms, protect college affordability, prepare students for career. That's a big yes for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm all about that.
Same, education.
See, on the back half, I'm good. The first 7, 8 was rough.
And I see how God works. You see? I'm just saying, I'm highly favored.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
No,
God said, you're going to skip these ones. Let Lex handle it. Lex held it down. Nah, Lex held it down, dog. I'm telling you.
Which one got you?
Up and down.
Which one got you? We can go back and do a replay. Which one got you?
You trying to get
no,
yelled at
you know,
again?
and I saw something that...
I want her to be able to speak her piece.
No, well, I saw something that your wife had commented underneath, like, one of the posts about, you know, you're catching some heat about, you know, at the end of the day, like I
got a few messages.
You're very, and you know, and I, you know, me and Lex come from, I'll speak for myself, and I from knowing things that Lex has shared with me, that's why I started to include him in this, but I'll speak for myself. When you come from certain experiences, circumstances, backgrounds, whether it's here or there, it influences your opinion and your lens. So Carl has had a different upbringing than I've had, than I have Lex had, that shapes his opinion. But at the end of the day, I will say that, like his wife said, like, he is empathetic, he is loving, he is generous. However, I do believe that there are, and it might be hard to hear, you know, the word privilege, especially on a black man, because there's so much already that you're having to fight about. But I do think there's a certain, I don't know, lack of understanding due to lack of experience and exposure to possible people's circumstances that sometimes, you know, I don't think allows you to tap into the true reality of people's circumstances. Like the other day you made a post and you said something about, like, you can lead a man to the river, but if you teach him how to fish, like, and I started to comment and I started to kind of give you a paragraph, and I decided to hold it because, you know, that's what I'm doing these days. Because I think, like, what I sometimes feel like you're missing is the idea that we're not all starting with a pole. We're not all starting with a line. We're not like, you're like, yeah, you can teach a man how to fish, but what about that man's life before he got to that point? And what things and what adversities and what lack of opportunities and what lack of family and what lack of support and And yes, your thing is that you're like, there's all this resources and all of this like technology that everybody should have the ability to pull themselves up by the bootstrap. But that's just not the reality, because in that case, no one would be starving. In America, there is not a lack of food, but families go to bed, children go to bed starving every night. It's not from the lack of food that we have, it's from the lack of access. So sometimes what I think I get frustrated with you is that sometimes I think you forget like the lack of access that certain people have. And therefore that impacting their ability to even learn how to fish. And so, but, you know, I appreciate like all of our perspectives and our narratives. And, you know, I agree with you that I'm an independent as well. And I agree with you that I try not to, I'm not necessarily loyal to a certain political identity. You know, where I'm at is I'm always looking for the benefit of the people. And I think sometimes what happens like in this certain climate, especially with like Trump and, you know, looking at economics and looking at like capitalism, is that seems to be the bigger picture, and then we kind of ignore the social impacts, right? And what I want to remind the everyday voter is that a lot of these stipulations and, you know, things that are going to be put if Trump enters the presidency aren't maybe not going to necessarily impact you in the way that you think as far as it comes to your income. But what I can guarantee is the social impact, the lack of access to healthcare, the, you know, infractions put on the ability to make decisions for yourself, that will be felt by the everyday person the most. And so, you know, we each have to go with where we need, but I think just kind of thinking like, when you're voting, think about, especially local voting, think about what's going to truly impact your day-to-day life and your children's day-to-day life directly, you know, and that's how I try to allow my allegiance to go and where I'm voting.
I agree with you, like 100%. I think where my concern is not that like people, I understand that people come from different backgrounds and their access to certain information, or even like their ability to
sustain and reach there.
And do all those things. It's tougher, right? From a lower position. I'm with you. Where I was speaking more towards is like some of these programs, for example, like part of my other post is like, yo, I've been on food stamps.
Yeah.
Right? But for me to qualify to be on food stamps, there's certain things. You either have to have children, right? You have to be enrolled in school or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, there's stipulations.
Right, they have stipulations, and
as there should be.
And I didn't even know those things were available to me until someone told me later on, right? And part of that was being on a campus where someone else was doing it, and they were like, "Oh, yo, bro, you know you can go get food stamps." 18-year-old, 19-year-old me had no idea how that even worked, right? So when I went into the office and I seen the people there, I seen the despair that we're talking about. And so where I'm coming from is not like, yo, shame on you for not having it, right? It's like, hey, look, we have a responsibility to teach people, you know, how to utilize their resources. Not here's
live
a phone.
Off of them forever.
Here's a phone and figure the shit out, right? No, here's a phone. Let me show you how to sign up for this, sign up for that. Like we have that ability versus a kid that may be living in Ghana right now that's like in a territory where like they don't have any access.
That sounds like my husband.
You get what I'm saying?
My husband shares that very similar
I understand
point of view.
that part. I understand fully. And my other piece to that, to add to that was, and to wrap it up for me at least, was that, yo, at the end of the day, we can't sit back and wait on the government to do things for us. That's where I was at, right? So it's like, yo, if you can find that motivation, right? And get to where you need to be. Yeah. My privilege was my dad was in the military, college was free. I had to hold up my end of the deal, go to school.
And
get my
I
good
can appreciate
grades.
though that you can like acknowledge that. What I will say is I agree with you as someone like who, you know, still relies on certain government assistance programs and has relied differently. I know that like in my life, I'm like, I cannot wait. Because you shouldn't depend on it. You shouldn't rely on it.
Enough.
It's never enough. It pigeonholes you. But that's where you get into these tight spots where it's like, as you're on this climb up, once you kind of reach a certain level, which is deemed livable, then all of those resources are denied from you.
Right.
So that for me is like where I'm almost at, where I'm like, I'm trying to work these jobs under the table, because I'm trying to speak less about my previous experience, just out of like respect for my husband, but you guys know where I was a few years ago. Right. And so rebuilding from the bottom up, right? Like literally like nothing. And so once you start to reach a certain level where it's like not even maintainable, but just like, oh, I'm not drowning, I'm not going without, then that's where you start to play that game where it's like, oh no, like I'm still not able to live without the support, but technically in their eyes I am. Right. You know, and so you're trying to find where you can still access these resources without losing them before you're truly ready for. And I think that's where it's like finding our resources and pairing them with education, pairing them with longer term care, pairing them with really setting people up for success versus just giving them X amount of dollars so they can barely survive. You know, because the goal shouldn't be to always rely on this assistance. What it should be is to use it in order to build and gain.
I had an epiphany, and I want to know it from you.
Yeah.
You're a living embodiment of what I'm speaking about. Though.
Absolutely, exactly.
Right? As somebody who may be on those assistance programs, but you're fighting to get out of that lifestyle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get offended if somebody is misusing those things? Like someone, like if you know someone else that's like same financial circumstances, whatever the case may be, but you know you out here grinding and they out here bullshitting, does that bother you?
So like, the hustler in me, like, you know, the real hustler in me is like, get your bag, we can get your bag, teach their own. But the like social advocate in me is, that is hard, because then people use, the grand scheme is most people are like me. But there are those people that are taking advantage, and then what that does is that allows people that don't side with us or don't understand to grab onto that and to perpetuate the idea that people are scammers, people are abusing the system, which then trickles down into voting and people denying, you know, support and access to service.
That's what I was getting on you
about.
But
I'm speaking to those people she's talking to, not her.
I know, but what did she say though? Go most people are like her, and then there's a few bad apples.
I agree.
But you were talking about those few bad apples. If it was,
if that came across that way, I apologize. So, I'm talking the ones that she's talking about.
But that's the power. So that's why it gets frustrating, because that becomes the narrative, right? It's the same thing like welfare. Welfare is assumed to be people of color, when the true reality is that the majority of welfare goes to white farmers in America. But perception can shape reality. Facts. And so this perception that, you know, people are just using and abusing welfare and food stamps, and there are people out here that are gaming the system, penetrates into people's minds and brains and mindsets, and then they vote differently, and then they deny access to resources and funding to people like me who really need it. I've been working my entire fucking life. Literally, I've been hustling since grade school, making shit, selling shit. I know you guys watch my posts. You guys have probably seen all the you're like, where is she working now? What is she doing? Because I've always had a hustle and I've always had a grind. So it's not a lack of not wanting to fucking provide and to get it. It's a lack of never having a solid support to be able to launch myself. And that's what these programs can do for people. They supplement it. And I want people to remember that the majority of people are like me. And there are people out there that are gaming the system, but I choose not to punish people like me because of people like that. And I hope when people are going out there and voting, if anything, like maybe I pop into their mind, my life, my story, my circumstances, my struggle, and my will and desire to get out of it. But I need my community support in order to get to the place where I need to be, so I don't go backwards. I can never go back to where I was. Never again.
You getting the game ball today. For real, he killing it. He getting the game ball.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me share my mind.
And this is one of the big things that we studied. It's tough. Like all the best economists be on it, and that group of people is the hardest inefficiency to cure, because people, you know, just because they're in that circumstance, they're not stupid. They're like, hey, why am I going to work extra hard for a couple $1,000 more? Because if I do that, then I lose all this help that I was getting. And so it makes, and then so sometimes
It can pigeonhole.
Sometimes it makes you, if you can't find a way to get it under the table, then sometimes it does make you inefficient, or I don't want to use the word lazy, but it's like, I'm not going to work harder.
That's not even lazy.
Gonna,
it's making you choose real decisions. So, for instance, like
that's what I'm
with
trying
my
to.
children,
I'm not using lazy. It's more like it don't make no sense.
But it's not exactly. But I want to be careful of the narrative that you're starting to paint, because it's not a matter of like, well, I'm just lazy or I'm going to lean into it. It's a matter of mathing. So, for instance, I have 2 twins, right? When I was looking at my numbers and me and my husband were playing the game plan, it was like I could work 40 hours a week, have somebody else raise my children, drop them off, go through all the struggle of that for an extra, I think it was $650 when I was looking at the main thing. Right. So I think what's important is that we're not shifting that blame back on the person, but saying how we can better develop where people aren't feeling like they have to pigeonhole themselves, or they can't go out there and chase the bag because they're fearful of losing that consistent resource that is helping sustain the very bare minimum of surviving.
That's what I mean. So the problem they're trying to attack is not the person.
Yeah.
It's the circumstance that leads them to make that common sense decision.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do all that for an extra few $100 because a lot's going to be taken from me. It's, economics is the study of human behavior. Any human with like common sense or that can do math is like, that's stupid to me. I'm going to do this. And it creates market inefficiencies. That's what they're trying to fix.
But I now see where the issues stimulate from, though, right? Because the programs that you guys are talking about, I no longer apply for those, right? Like, it mattered for me as a single man with no kids, but as soon as I landed a job and everything, it's like, I own a house and all this other shit, and it's like, fuck, what else is there for us, the middle class, right? The upper class, they get everything, all the tax breaks, right? And then people that are behind us, right? Not even in a disrespectful way.
Resources.
They get the and then for me, it's like, what you have is good.
And that's why I think the middle class be bitter.
I didn't understand
Not
it
bitter,
at first,
but frustrated.
Because I was in the low class when I was getting my checks and on welfare and shit. Give me my shit. Run me my $250. Like, I need that.
Right. So
put it on my little debit card. I'm punching it. Oh, we can go to 7-Eleven. I get hot food with this motherfucker now. This shit tastes like cardboard, but I'm gonna eat this pizza.
Real shit.
Give me the taquitos.
When I was talking,
I'm for real. I know.
When I was talking to you last week, you were separating them into 3 categories. When there's a 4th one.
What's the 4th?
The 4th one is the one she's talking about.
What's the 4th?
There's the low class that's just like, you get all the best
low class
stuff,
for lack of a better term.
Yeah, we need to be clear. Let's clean it up.
That's why I did this.
That's
why I did this. And then there's the middle class, right? There's that middle class, that working. I think
it's called the working
poor.
Yeah, the working poor, exactly.
Where it's
hella working poor.
It's like technically you're not in poverty, but like shit, you're right there.
Dude.
But like because there is like a definitive definition of it, you're not going to qualify for this, and that. So those people have it harder than the people under the poverty line because they don't have the assistance. So that little 4th. The way you were speaking is if you were in that tier, and that's just not true. But the way you were talking about, where's my shit, is if you were in that tier, and that's why...
What tier am I in?
You were in the middle class.
Okay.
What I'm saying is there's a 4th tier that you didn't realize that we're talking about right now. That's who should be... The way you were speaking is how they should be speaking, not you.
Either way, there's going to be a divide amongst all classes.
Yeah, well, obviously.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way you was talking.
No, I get what you're saying.
Where's my shit at?
Yeah, we all are saying that. That's the thing. We all are saying, where's my shit at?
Well, if somebody's getting something, of course, everybody is going to say, where's mine?
And
right?
the people above us want us to fight like this in the first place. Can we agree on that? Let these motherfuckers keep fighting it out. Yeah.
Look.
We cool. They not gonna understand when we use these big ass words on the ballot. What the fuck that shit mean? I gotta go look that shit up sometimes. I'm serious. Like,
absolutely.
I didn't even know one guy was capitalizing off of drug sales and then tapping into the housing market until you read up on it. Right?
That's why you have to inform yourself.
It is fire, but for them, but for us. No, cause I'm not about slumlords and all that other shit. Let me be clear on that. I want our streets safe. You know what I mean? Like, let me fucking be clear. Fund the police where the shit makes sense. You know what I mean? Give the working poor they cut, And let me get in there too, so I can feel happy. I
Ain't
want
nothing
everybody
wrong
to
with
win.
that, Carl.
True
Ain't nothing
independent,
wrong.
man. All right, let's get up out of here, man. And we're already an hour and 40 in. I don't want to lose anybody on that last half. I do got some fire ass fun facts that we can get off next week.
Okay.
Like when the seatbelt was invented and why, and all, it was a specific automobile person that actually like let go of the patent so all of them could use it.
Wow.
It's pretty fire.
Okay,
so,
safety.
Yeah. Ask ChatGPT a few things. Oh, I wanted to ask y'all about
I haven't used that at all yet.
I know, it's scary. Did you hear about the young man that took his life after talking to Chat?
Yes, I did.
So,
I did hear about that.
My daughter has an iPad now, right? She's always had one, but now she has more access to one, right? Mm-hmm. And luckily, Apple has some really cool features where you can really, I didn't know, maybe you knew or something.
Parent controls.
Yeah, parent controls where like you can see when they're trying to download certain apps. You
have to approve it, put in a password.
You're not getting YouTube. Disagree, right? I'm hitting that all day.
Yeah,
that's like a key to the world. You know, so there was a story about a young man. He was 14 years old. He was talking to an autonomous chatbot, and there were signs that he was, thinking about committing suicide and, speaking to this, autonomous robot this whole time, and the responses weren't there. And so the mom is suing now.
The responses were encouraging him to take his life, is what I read.
They weren't clear, and to, like for a 14-year-old mind, you're absolutely right. For a 14-year-old mind, It was implied that it was okay.
Yes.
So you're right. So, and it got me thinking. I was like, damn, we are in an age where, to me, I thought it was odd, but I had to think like, yo, he was born in the 2000s, right? Like, it to me would be odd for me to have a relationship with a chatbot, but the way they are now versus
and think about Alexa. They ask Alexa everything.
Exactly.
Read me a book. What time is it? What does this mean?
They're real people when they like, oh, ask Siri to do. Oh, let me be careful when I say that.
Yeah.
But ask her to do that, and I'm like, yo, like she's not real. Like there's other avenues, but for them, that's their reality. What you think? You gonna just say it?
I'm sick of them.
Who?
Them hoes. Alexa.
All of them?
Siri.
They listen.
The AIs.
They listen.
Yo, there is a fucking clock right next to the Alexa you're talking to. Look at the fucking clock. Stop asking her what time it is.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. I do think that, I'm not someone who's lawsuit happy, but I think as technology is developing, I think it is important that we do kind of make an example out of situations like this. So that way, as it's developing and as it's advancing, hopefully those companies are thinking about oh shit, we need to be more careful about if anything for them, their liability, but making sure that it's safer, because that's really scary. You know?
think they're liable? No?
I think you can really stretch that ambiguity out.
I feel like there is a responsibility to users on your platform, and especially if you're not putting safeguards up for certain trigger words, certain ages, that, yeah, you are a developer, and when you are someone who is producing something for the masses, you absolutely need to make sure that you're ensuring that there's safeguards and protections, especially if you're allowing young people. Yes, of course, parents need to be aware of mental health issues, and you need to be talking to your children, and you need to be monitoring their technology and all of the things. I'm not scapegoating any of that. However, I do want examples to be made of, and I do want there to be the fear of God into these technology companies about the liabilities of things that they could face if they are not doing their utmost best to make sure that they are protecting their users.
Here's my problem with your response and why I agree with you. If I went on top of Coronado right now and I jumped up on top of that ledge, there's a phone number that is up there for people to call if they see someone like me. And right now, I'm minding my business. I'm up on a public structure, getting ready to jump off, just minding my business, right? Trigger warning for anyone that's listening.
Yeah.
Right? But, those safeguards are in place around that bridge for that to happen. So I feel like our technology should do the same. A bridge is technology. It's a way to get from one side to the other. It's just not electronic.
That had nothing to do with the response I said.
Oh, well then explain.
The response I said was, I haven't looked at whatever. I'm assuming there's no ground. I'm not saying it's not fucked up, and which I don't agree with what y'all are saying. What I'm saying is, as far as what's going to actually happen.
Oh, you talking about
I'm assuming the lawyers be like, yo, the ambiguity of these messages. Yeah, it's not. I understand how a 14-year-old could imply, hey, he wants me to do this. But it's like, oh no, that's not exactly clear.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I hope there's an example. That's why I'm saying I hope that this is successful, because I'm sure there are loopholes and things. So I'm hoping that this can be used as something that will enhance or put, those safeguards, because
there's no age verification on these.
I've never used. I'm not even familiar with the Chat GPT, whatever.
Chat GPT is a little better. This one was a different one. Chat GPT, like if you ask it something crazy, but all this goes against our laws and stuff like that. You can't
see that one's probably a little more further along in their AI versus whatever this was is probably still learning.
Well, they gonna learn real quick.
When they're learning this, that's probably why the responses were so vague or could be misconstrued, because it hasn't learned.
Well, that's their responsibility. I would assume that company to not put shit out before it's
I
well
get what
educated.
he's saying now too, though. Basically, and you're both saying the same thing. Basically, it's like, yo, if you hold them accountable, maybe they'll find the loopholes and making sure that it's safe for kids and stuff like that. That's the thing about innovation, right? Innovation, there's no rules with certain things, right?
Exactly. So, it gets the wild, wild west sometimes.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here. We made it out here alive, unscathed. I love that.
Good night. Me
love
too.
It.
Love that
it
for
was great
us.
having you back.
I'm glad to be back, guys.
Hands or music?
Hands. Hands are fine. You want these hands or not?
No, literally.
3 cheers.
Oh.
I don't really have any. Tyler, Creator, I found out was about to sell 250,000 albums. I thought that was cool to see him go from like small stages to where he's at now. And then listening to professional podcasts in regards to music and shit like that, I realized that he's a lot bigger than what I had given him credit for. I guess he was competing out there with like Taylor Swift and the Swifties, or was having some problems with them or some shit like that. For him to get to that point means you made it. If nobody's hating on you or not mad about where you at, that means you ain't really made it yet.
He's been a big deal for a little while now.
No, I know, but now, no. This is like you put him up there in the top 5 categories right now of this generation.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's definitely that tier where it's like, oh, where are you? Like, people talk about the big 3, and then there's like conversation about like a 4th. People say Nicki, Future, and like Tyler is right there in that conversation.
The numbers supported. That's what I mean. Yeah,
very much so.
So that's my 3 cheers.
I'm not a big Tyler guy. Like, this album is kind of whatever to me. I really like the last one, but he's like a little too experimental for my taste. But I understand. Like, I root for him as a person.
I ain't mad at it. Jay?
I would like to 3 cheers how do I want to say it? The culture that is like developing in San Diego, as far as like there being Black spaces for entertainment, for growth, for healing, for just making a lane.
Right.
I really see, and I've been fortunate enough to start really getting tapped in, and I see people of color, specifically Black people here in San Diego, really making moves and claiming space and showing their creative outlets. And I just want to shout out like any Black or brown creative out here in San Diego. Like, we see you, keep doing it, and you're bringing more culture to our city that desperately needs it.
Lex? Cue the music. Go ahead, bro.